Hello, and welcome back to what is... Okay, this is going to get really confusing because this is the fourth video on YouTube, but it's episode 5, but it's my third recording block. Oh no. Explanation. I record these in longer chunks ranging from 50 to 80 minutes and then cut them, well, carve out YouTube episodes from them. I'm trying to do about half-hour installments for YouTube. Obviously, they're in the previous one I said it was episodes 3 and 4 because, well, the war didn't really last long enough, so anyway, that decision was done. Why this is a problem today? Well, I've got 50 minutes of footage here where I did not have my microphone on while I was playing the game, which you might have noticed given that I'm doing stuff in the gameplay that I'm not commenting on, and if you've watched any of my actual commentary, you'll note that I'm nowhere near as good at multitasking as I would have to be in order to be multi-tracking like this. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to put up with my retroactive commentary for this game as opposed to in-game commentary. That's what I'm looking for. Right, so two significant things happened at the close of the previous episode. One, Duncan went ahead and built probably Fjaren, actually, given the whole Norwegian J, right there, on my island, how very dare he. And the other one is I got a quest to build the trade route out to Golden Bell Temple, so sorting that out right now, getting a trade convoy to expire so that I can free one up. Over at Vanguard, I clearly need a worker because, well, I've got a bunch of tiles that are completely underdeveloped. Now I actually know what I'm saying here. I'm saying I'm going to build my next city right over here adjacent to this Xenomass well. When we get to the start of the next recording block, I'm actually going to forget about this because it was so long in between recording sessions. I'll end this recording block having built a worker, and I'm going to start the next recording block not really knowing what I intended to do with it. A little dumb foreshadowing for you there. I have found Arshakirsk at last. So that is everyone who's in the game. Continue to have my Vortex go explore the sea up here to the north. My Explorer is out of modules, so he's going back home. Have that guy heal up because he's right next to alien nests, and it's always a good idea to keep soldier units right next to alien nests so that you can kill the aliens before they get out of control, pillage the nests for science or food or energy or some combination thereof. Keeping an eye on dear old Hanjay Moon, who has decided to interject his fleet into my territory, as has Elodie. If I was smart, I'd go to the diplomacy screen right now and see who was actually at war with whom. Oh, well. The advantage of doing this commentary after the fact is I have even more time to point out my own dumb mistakes. Utama is impressed with my military unit strength. Well, yes, that's because of my absurd science stealing that allows me to have super powerful units. I have relocated Duncan's fleet. This is good, assuming that I can ever provoke him into going to war with me again, because I'm already regretting going for the easy peace in the previous episode. Of course, I felt kind of justified in doing that at the time because my health took a hit, but obviously it would have been better to just erase him from the map. So, having this fleet, having what is, at the moment, basically my entire navy leave my territory and go chase Duncan's fleet may be a bit of a mistake, especially since I can't control where and when the wars start. I mean, I can bully people, but ultimately it's their decision to declare war on me or not. It's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off. The other thing that I'm doing with my navy is I'm thinking maybe I want to put them over here because Elodie is the leader right now score-wise, and again, saw how much that matters. But Elodie is leading score-wise, so it might not be the worst idea in the world to have a ship or maybe a fleet over there and see what she's up to, get more spying done. Hooray. Pleasantly surprised that I can remember what I was up to several weeks ago. According to the video file here, I recorded this on April 30th, and I'm doing the editing slash commentary for it now on May 21st, so yikes. That's... And as I've said, there's another 80-minute block of footage after this. Why the long delay? Well, I've been doing Fallout 4 videos as well, and they take considerably more time to edit. And judging by the YouTube viewership figures, I should probably stick with Civ, because the Fallout figures don't do nearly as well, and frankly, it's a more frustrating game, as the most recent Fallout video might suggest. We have a quest decision here, so it's the auto plant domestic quest for production or energy from auto plants. I've chosen production, which is unsurprising because, again, I need as much production as I can get to keep up with whatever advantages the computer has. And the Korean-Arabic War has briefly come to an end. If memory serves, this thing keeps flaring up. Oh, there's Duncan putting out yet another colonist and interfering in my territory. How irksome. I just got to set up the spies here and have them all steal science because, again, we're just trying to stay ahead of the pack. Starting to wonder what will happen if we get into a war once everybody's caught up. Oh dear. And over here we see the Korean-Arabic War in full swing. There's a collection of cities you don't normally see under Korean control. Although they did spawn ridiculously close to each other, which is weird considering the size of the map. Although I suppose Duncan is fairly close to me, and that's not going to be annoying. Plunder some nests. Get their stuff. Worker needs to start coming over to Islemuir and building up Phyrexite mines. Now, here's the silly play. Can I get enough military units down here to block the eastward movement of his colonist so that I can put my own colonist on this rich resource node right over here? Keep watching to find out. Another worker to start improving various things around Central. Hooray. Worker to build us a road. Well, go over there and build us a road. Keep exploring, get the trade route when we can. That's still a couple of turns away. Okay, not a whole lot going on here. Doing a little bit more exploring, taking a trade offer from Kim, and building a colonist and deciding where he's gonna go. You may recall that the original plan was to colonize a city right next to that giant xenomass deposit up to the northeast of Axiom, but I'm going to get into a race with Duncan and see if I can beat him to that resource node that he's clearly going for. Because, you know, why not? And bring in the rest of the military, which we'll need because, well, we need to find some way of stopping that thing's eastward movement before it arrives at its destination. Okay, quest decision here for worker speed or food. We're going to go with food because it's kind of what we've been going for with our personality traits. So why not just double down on that? I'm sure that couldn't possibly go wrong, especially if we run into health problems later on because of the difficulty. Keep moving these guys over because we do need to get. We basically need to occupy all the next two columns to the east of where he is so that he can't move through us. Because if we only occupy the tile immediately east of him, he can just move through that to 1-2 east. So trying to align our units and slow him down as much as possible. I don't have enough stuff. He is going to win this race. Yeah, spoiler alert there. But in the meantime, I am playing silly games with him, and I would be really annoying him if he were a human player, but alas, he is not. Explorer, there's some stuff to explore. Head up to the northeast and see what you can do. The worker is going to build a road into Islemere just because I want an interconnected land route. Obviously, we're going to take Fajarin at some point, so we'll want to connect, and that's not on the coast, so we will want to connect that to our capital. So we will need a road down here anyway, and right now it just looks like I'm building a road from my cities into Fajarin. No problem there. Duncan wants a deal, which I will give him because I'm in a strangely good mood. If I were thinking about this for 5 seconds, I wouldn't, because I do want him to get angry with me and declare war on me again so that I may crush him. Fleet is still hanging out just east of Elodie because I would like to see what she's up to and how much she has in the way of stuff, and it's possible that if she happens to declare war on us, we would be in an ideal position to sack her capital immediately. And Duncan is going right through the gap in my army because I'm just not fast enough in getting where I need to be. So I think that's me having just straight up lost that race, because I think he's where he wants to be now. Anyway, I've got an upgrade for my aircraft, so that's always cool. Going with the range upgrade, because that's never a bad choice. +2 range when we're at full health. If I remember this when we get the carrier and make sure that I get the carrier upgrade for auto heal the craft on board, that would be smart. Let's see if I do. I think I did. Again, spoiler alert, but this is what you get when I forget to turn on my mic, so you have to deal with my commentary. Oh, well. Putting in a new trade route to Golden Bell Temple. There we go. Olivia Ross. Get the expedition to wherever that is. We'll need to know what that is. Get extra energy and production from Xenomass wells so that they don't actually cost anything, which is always great. This thing bugs regularly, so it's just fantastic that that showed up right there. This particular find Olivia Ross's cave thing. Like I've had that spawn a couple of times on a tile that I'd already improved, and it just auto-failed the quest on the next turn, so I'm very happy that it did not this time. But, yes, we're currently on turn 165, and I'm recording this commentary from the perspective of someone who's gotten up to turn 240. So I do, unfortunately, have a bit of an advantage as to where this is all going, and I may run my mouth a bit. Obviously, I have a disadvantage in that I don't really know what my past self was thinking in a lot of cases. Oh well. For my next science investment, obviously taking a look at something in the supremacy tree. Getting those academies would not be the worst idea, but we should go get Transcendence and stay on track for the Transgenics, and stay on track for the Transcendence victory. So that's what I'm going to do. As for my spies, looking at maybe stealing a technology, if we can, if there is something to steal. Still debating whether or not it counts to, whether or not I'm allowed to like set off, to do a coup d'etat in an enemy city or do anything that would automatically require them to declare war on me. And I do know what I ultimately decided, and I checked the tape from the next recording block, and I do explain that decision at the start of the next one. So we will leave you in suspense for now. Duncan has gone ahead and built that city. Yeah, okay. We knew that we lost that, but so be it. So we'll just hang out here and annoy you. And obviously I can't build that close to him, so I'm going to come down here. This looks like a fairly decent spot to my completely untrained eye. But we'll have a nice military presence over here to take care of any aliens in the area. And we'll just have some guys hanging out right on his borders, which I'm sure will annoy him. Our fleet, meanwhile, stays on Elodie's borders, and our worker continues to, surprise, work. I commentate good. Okay, at this point I realize that I've overextended my tiny fleet. We're all the way over in Elodie's territory, and I just noticed that Duncan has a pretty substantial fleet that he's rebuilding. Granted, it's, you know, small and it's under-teched compared to mine, but, well, quantity has a quality all its own, and that is something that I need to be aware of. So, especially since I'm going to be harassing Duncan by founding a city right on the edge of his territory, I may want to bring my fleet back closer to me so that I can defend my stuff when we go to war again. And on that subject, build up some military units. Stern, I'm thinking, I see back there, oh, I wish I had a rewind button. The first unit that it gave me control over was one of my melee naval combat units, right next to two of Duncan's, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna stick him there. Keep one guy watching his fleet that's over in the Western Sea over there, and bring the others back my way. Duncan is impressed with my military unit strength. Yeah, that's probably why he's not going to jump on me for what I've done, as far as getting into a little territorial dispute with him. Yeah, this vortex up here. We've got a little bit of a Duncan fleet up there, so we want to keep an eye on that. Our colonist has basically reached his destination. We'll be there on the next turn. Yeah, okay, he's exactly where he needs to be. So let's go ahead and get Mr. Duncan more than a little bit annoyed at us. Excavate the Olivia Ross thing. Oh, I guess I auto moved. Okay, right, yes. That was the pseudo end of turn, the extra half turn as it completes various auto moves and leaves them I don't know how to describe it. When you order a movement, a unit that can move 2 spaces a turn to move 3 spaces, it moves that turn.
The steps in the dance of life?
Then it auto moves at the end of your next turn, but only 1 space, and then you get control of it again. So it's like the postscript to that turn. In here, we're making some rearrangements because we want to go ahead and get a wonder, but oh darn, we don't have the right equipment for it. So we need to go get geothermal so we can get an ectogenesis pod and put, what is it, extra food per city, extra population per city, extra food per city, tripling down on that whole thing. Oh yes, there we go. Duncan is annoyed. That's good. Let's get Duncan more angry at us. Keep an eye on his fleet too. Oh, he's got a lot of stuff. Okay, making a decision here to bring another ship up and another to keep an eye on him. Okay, so this fleet that was going to go back home is now going to hang out here. And I think this is where I decide, okay, I need to go build myself a second fleet, because these guys just need to keep an eye on everything that Duncan's got out here and smash it up good. I don't know why I think that. I mean, all I need to do to beat him is take 3 of his cities. So really, if his fleet's on the other side of the world, he's not, and I can take, this is assuming that I can take the land cities, which is a legitimate question since I don't have that many land units, but I can always steal more. Well, I don't have enough direct combat land units, I fear, to take the cities. Duncan has declared war on Elodie. Ah, well, that's a decision.
The wisdom
All
of
right.
nature is that she is content to wait and iterate on her solutions. And because of this, she always finds a way.
Life finds a
We
way.
thrive because we built a solid foundation on this.
Had to watch this twice to find out why these are popping up. The answer is I stole a tech. That's why I get 3 affinity upgrades right now. Got all sorts of upgrades there. Lovely stuff. And so we get the Viper is now a Savage and can move after attacking. That's going to be hilarious for hit and run. The Jellypod, we're going with the invisibility upgrade, so we get an extra combat bonus if we began the turn invisible to a target, which it normally does when I'm controlling them. I'm somewhat careful about that. Keep an eye on their Duncan fleet here. Duncan's at war with Elodie, so these guys are going to start shooting each other up momentarily. And I may want to be elsewhere. I do have a submarine, which says, oh, look, there are aliens. And this begins the weird North Sea alien nest hunt, where I send a ship up here to look for the alien nest that's spawning the aliens. I don't find anything. I come back down. Another alien shows up. I send a ship back up. It's a very bizarre cycle. Spy is going to go try to steal a technology. I don't know why I'm trying to steal technology from Duncan. He's at the bottom of the barrel. But if he has anything, I might as well take it. Build farms, because I think by this point I've decided that I'm going to go get vertical farming. Well, I normally do get vertical farming. And it's just, you want to have farms to take advantage of vertical farming. Yes.
The dust.
Surprise. Okay, I got geophysics so I can get my geothermal well. I also got Elodie kind of mad at me, which is probably something that I want. Because, you know, again, I need them to declare war on me so that I can get into wars of self-defense and therefore be the more righteous party when I conquer and enslave the technical aggressors. That's what pacifism is, right? In Islemere, I'm going to build myself a colonist. Oh, because I want this resource node that I'm pointing at right now. Okay, that's good. Past me and present me have synced up quite nicely there. Yes, get the geothermal that's right there. Because there's not a whole lot of geothermal readily available to me. Kind of annoying. So, for my next tech, terraforming and then climate control for the weather controller so that I can get even more food from the tiles underneath them and get my growth rate going even better. Not really how I plan to do an ARC thing. This is really more of a African Union play, but it's working so far. I don't have any complaints. Kind of getting in the way here between Duncan and Elodie's fleets, and it's just, that's they do want to shoot each other, and I'm not convinced that getting in the way is the smartest play, but it's what I'm doing. And getting artillery and indirect fire units scattered around Islemere because, well, I know that if we get into a war, he's going to try to take it back by sea because, well, why wouldn't he?
Don't push your luck.
Ah, good. Duncan is mad. Hopefully, we can get some war going in a minute.
لدينا بعض الخبرة في التجارة.
She would like to cooperate? Okay. She keeps getting into war with Han. Yes, there we go. She keeps getting into war with Han Jae-moon. So, if that becomes a problem for him, he might declare war on me. And he's closer to me, so I have more of an incentive to want to be at war with him, because I can take his stuff and still have a rather contiguous territory. Colonist is done, so we're going to go off and harvest the geothermal that's over there. Bring in these submarines to secure the area. Lovely stuff. Still keeping an eye on the Duncan fleet, and our worker is going to climb back on land and do some work for us. Ah, Olivia Ross's subquest is done. That's more harmony.
We know that we are...
Great. Relationship with Han Jae-moon is in jeopardy. That's just exactly what I want to see. Perfect. Keeping an eye on the Duncan fleet over here, which seems to have gotten a little bit of a bad engagement with Elodie there. Got shot up a bit. Going to go build some more farms because, again, we're going to get vertical farming and want to take advantage of that. So, again, more farms. Hooray. With them distracted, I can get the alien nests. And, oh, it looks like Elodie did get beat up a little bit. She does have a clear tech advantage over Duncan. So, if she's smart, she'll be able to wipe the floor with him. But, well, the AI in this game is not great. Leviathan is getting... upgrade here. We have to choose between a site upgrade and heal for adjacent units. Now, the thing is, I have been picking upgrades on certain of my other units that give them bonuses for not being next to friendly units. So, quick rundown here, have a check, see, yeah, the Wrath has got it, and the Vortex does not. So, it's just a question of making sure that if we go with the heal, that would only apply to vortexes. And we're going with the heal anyway. Arshia wants a deal, which is just fine with me, because, hey, it means more diplomatic capital for me. Never a problem. It's Colonization Corps, which is an interesting one. It makes your colonists take longer to build, but then they found cities immediately. They don't go through that, like, building out the initial ring tile by tile before you can do anything process, which is it's a good thing to get if you play it smart. Build up 2 or 3 colonists and then get that deal, and then splat it down and then cancel it. So you can expect Arcia to cancel it in a couple of turns if she's intelligent. But again, the AI, yeah, well, it's AI. Yeah, Elodie has not gotten her battleship thingy away from Duncan's melee units, which I declare to be a mistake, because I am the great expert and knower of things. Submarine still poking around, seeing exactly how much of a fleet Duncan has, which is really not much. So, having concluded that his home fleet is over here in Deep Castle, and we can basically take care of it with what we have, and his expeditionary fleet is over by Elodie and getting shot to ribbons, we're looking pretty good. Now all we have to do is get him to declare war on us, which is, well, there are ways of doing it. You just have to annoy him enough. Reassigning spies. Recruit defectors, steal science. All good. Looks like Elodie did lose one of her battleships, and Duncan has brought in his reinforcements, so this might actually end up going a little bit poorly for her. Ah, well. Hey, the more he manages to hurt her, the better it'll hurt her standing in the rankings a little bit, and help me, because I'm not allowed to directly intervene, because no one has declared war on me. It's kind of like the American position on World War II from 1939 to late 1941. It's just, hey, so someone please invite me into this war, and I will help. I have discovered another station, which is great. I can get a trade route to it. And, oh darn, it looks like my only internal trade route expires in a whopping 20 turns, so I guess we're going to have to go into a city and get another trade convoy up and running. I mean, I've got time. Shackleton, I think it's like 35 turns or something before a trade station with no routes expires. We'll have terraforming in 2 minutes. So we can build a floatstone quarry next, but we'll need to build a farm first. Give the workers something to do while we wait to finish up the terraforming technology. This guy's done. Go over there, get us that geothermal so that we can start building that wonder. Kim thinks I have a small army. Yes, I keep calling him Kim as opposed to Han Jae-moon, and that's for, well, he's the Korean character in the game, and he's vaguely sinister, so you'll have to forgive me. Duncan's fleet has taken off. I guess they're going to go reinforce. Oh, maybe they're just schooling a bit. Trade route off to Shackleton. There we go. Exactly what we want. We want to keep these stations up and running. According to the Civ Wiki, if no one trades with them, they pack up and move to a different location on the map. But I don't think I've ever seen that. I think they just abandon the planet and don't respawn. Well, I guess we could play the game out long enough and see. Now that I have 4 trade routes, Reynaldo likes that I have trade routes. Utama thinks I have a small army. Well, you know what?
Yes, the world is beautiful.
I think you're wrong. Duncan has also gone and declared war on Han. Okay. I have the most high-tech army on the planet. I do not have a lot of direct combat land units. So that is something I may want to think about. Han is impressed with my city intrigue levels. There we go. See, I can actually give the correct name on occasion. Oh, Duncan likes my military unit strength. That's nice. Everybody's giving me credit for international trade routes. It's like, wait a minute, no, I have 2 station trade routes, or 3 station trade routes. I'm not actually trading with another civ at the moment. Like, you guys are weird. We're gonna recruit some defectors to cover that whole we think you don't have much of a military thing. Yeah, change your mind when I steal your military. Build a geothermal well. Get that going at long last. So they like the military unit's strength. They're less than impressed with the size of the military, but, well, to turn a phrase, quality has a quantity all its own. Found the other Duncan fleet coming to reinforce them, I think. Got a worker who's now immune to miasma, so maybe he should go into those miasma tiles that I control and start actually getting, you know, that other plantation and a farm over there. Well, past me is dilly-dallying. Oh, I'm building a road to connect it to the one that I started to Islemere.
Venga, volvámonos más.
Reginaldo wants his covert ops to go faster. I don't really have a problem with that because he doesn't appear to be doing it against me. Ah, aliens and an alien nest for once. Detail someone to go up there and take care of that. Fantastic. Not impressed with my offensive military activity. That's a weird quote. He says, others may take offense at, but I will not partake. But he gives you negative reputation anyway. It's like, oh, okay. Yes, I know I have negative offensive. I know I don't do offensive military activity. I'm not allowed to, per the arbitrary rules that I have set for my own psychotic entertainment. And, well, you lot. Again, thanks for watching. And over here, we're still just keeping an eye on this in case anything happens. Built the Xenomass well, so probably should... actually, we built the road over here. The road segment, if you will.
No village.
Samatar also wants colonization core. He can have it. It's fine. Again, he's not really my main concern. And besides, his whole bonus only kicks in if he's healthy. And having more cities doesn't help him be healthy. So, all right, I'll take it. You know, I have absolutely zero problem helping my opponents sabotage themselves. Little incident going on the turn here where Duncan catches one of Elodie's explorers just in the wrong part of the world and obliterates it. So that's one confirmed kill on his part. Again, I think he's got a battleship of hers as well. Your other battleship is still alive over there, I note. Clear out the alien nest. Run the Ripper away. Clear out this alien nest. Shoot that alien. It's all good. See if there's more up here because I continue to think that there is. And we get a virtue for, oh look, +7 health. That will take care of our health problems for the immediate future, which is good since we're, you know, founding that Liberty City down there. Worker going to come over here and build us a farm because... Oh my god, I'm building a frickin' terrascape. This is not the purity victory. I don't have to go terrascape. I didn't have to go terrascape crazy in the purity victory either. I just, you know, I had excess energy, so I was like, yeah, why not? Well, it's a decision, and I've made it. So, oh my god, why? I have lost a unit.
Stop talking about the weather and do something about it for once.
Elodie's battleship here is still alive and unscathed, and it's just like, what? Alright. I had to go back and check the tape, make sure there wasn't a declaration of peace that I missed. There wasn't, just the naval character is bad at naval warfare. Keep an eye on Duncan's stuff, because, again, we think that there's a chance here to get him angry at us. Oh, but there's definitely a way to get him angry at us, dear viewer. And that's by dropping miasma right on his head. You see, Duncan only has 5 points in harmony, and you need 8 to be immune to miasma. So if we start dropping miasmic condensers right on top of his cities, this should make him mad. I mean, petroleum and xenomass. So we will need a source of petroleum, which, well, we have 2. We'll need 1 more, so best to find a location for that. There's one way out there, but Neither of our cities are really in reach. And so this, I suspect, because we are reaching the end of the footage here, is where I go ahead and build another colonist, and then rather foolishly forget at the beginning of the next video what I'm actually intending to do with it. Well, you know, that's what I get for waiting 2 weeks in between recording segments here. Yeah, we're just hanging out, keeping an eye on Elodie, as always. Stealing more science, stealing more science. We must stay ahead of the pack in here. And I wish, like, I knew how, to what degree the AIs were cheating. Yes, I've moved Vanguard closer to that petroleum deposit, and I'm realizing that I cannot just buy this one, so I clearly have to build another colonist, which I'm going to go do. But to finish the point, I kind of wish I knew like what the advantages of the AI were at various difficulties, like what extra percent science gain, what extra percent production or whatever, just so I know like exactly how well I have to play in order to get to stay on an even footing. Obviously, it's easy to stay ahead science-wise when I'm ARC because, well, we basically get to cheat with how fast our science can go when we steal science. Bringing another vortex around just to secure that side. I think I'm thinking about having an aquatic city, actually, by that xenomass / petroleum deposit. Actually, this pod has been built by another colony. That doesn't make any sense to me because everybody is on the map. Everybody has been identified. Well, that ends the footage for my microphone-less mishap, misadventure. Request received to kill alien units. That's easy. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.